to the channel, man. This is the recap for episode 10 of The Shy. Now, I'm not sure if this is the last season we're going to get, but I definitely want another one. I'm here for it. But before we go any further, let me give a shout out to Showtime, The Shy, and Lena Waithe. Actually, this week, they reached out and actually sent me some memorabilia. Let me get it so it don't have a glare. This is the best I'm going to get it for y'all. But this thing is super nice. So shout out to Lena Waithe, Showtime, The Shy, Hillman Productions. They reached out to me. They seen a couple of my recaps and they felt, hey, thank you for watching. Here you go. So for me, I had to put that on the wall because that's the first thing I received off YouTube. So it's only up from here. But let me not hold y'all up anymore. Let's jump right into it. This is episode 10, the season finale of The Shy. We all know last week we ended on Ronnie getting shot twice, one in the shoulder and then one in the back of the head. So this week it's only right that they start off with Ronnie's funeral. During this funeral, they're pretty much just preaching and telling us that Ronnie never gave up. Even though he had some downs in his life, he never gave up searching. He ended up finding Kiesha. He's been actually out looking around, trying to be the hero that he promised his grandmother that he would be. And he ended up finding Kiesha and actually rescuing her. Now, unfortunately, he ended up dying because of something he did 2 seasons ago, man. But that shows you karma doesn't have a time limit on it. It's going to come back and get you one way or the other. So, you know, it's unfortunate for Ronnie he had to die like that, but things happen. But while this is going on, everyone gets to speak up and say how they felt about Ronnie. His two boys that went to Springfield, they heard the news, they came back, and they both stood up, said they sorry. Ronnie's ex, she says she's sorry. But then you have Kiesha with roses. She actually goes up to the coffin and gives it to him. So everyone, they're feeling sorry for Ronnie because in some way or form, he was involved in with the community, whether it was bad things or good things. Everyone knew Ronnie in Chicago, especially the area that they're in. So it's unfortunate he went out and, more people showed up than I thought would show up to a Ronnie funeral. After Ronnie's burial, a lot of things start to happen. First of all, Emmett's selfish self, he starts talking about, man, this is why we can't ever have anything, man. They're going to shoot the guy, Ronnie, on the opening day of my restaurant. That's going to look bad for me. And Miss Jada's like, man, everything's not about you, man. Ronnie just got killed. Like, chill. Your restaurant will be all right. As this happened, Kiesha ends up walking by. And, Emmett always had feelings for Kiesha. We know they used to see each other back in the day. So he goes up and he starts talking to her. And we know Kiesha is pregnant at this point. So she's going through some things. The man that just saved her life is dead. Hell, she's pregnant by a rapist. So there's a lot of stuff going on in her head. And Emmett comes out of anywhere and starts joking around talking about, well, this is the first woman that told me she's pregnant. And I know for sure it's not mine. So for Kiesha, she's like, hey, you joking around in a serious moment like this? And Emmett's like, so Kiesha ends up just walking off from him. Then we get to see my crew, you know what I'm saying? Jake, Papa, and of course the leader, Kev. So they all sitting around just talking. And it turns out Papa's father ends up getting arrested. Now, we don't know what this is for, but we can only assume that he was taking money. He took some money from Camille Hathaway. So, hey, we don't know what it is, but hey, you going down, man. You been stealing money from the church. You been doing some illegal stuff. We going to get you, man. The feds is on you, bruh. Good old Emmett and Tiffany. Like right now, I'm kind of disappointed in Tiffany that she actually accepted that marriage proposal from Emmett. Cause I should have been there to be like, don't do it. But they end up going to counseling, and the counselor's pretty much, hearing them out. The marriage counselor's hearing them out. Okay, you guys got this. Let me, saying, see how they interact together. But we already know Emmett and Tiffany. They ain't ready to be married. So Emmett was supposed to schedule an appointment downtown at the city hall so they can get their marriage license. He ain't did it yet. So you propose, y'all rushing this marriage, but you haven't it set up to get the marriage certificate. So they've been going back and forth. And the and the therapist is like, are you sure you guys are ready to get married? Tiffany's like, yeah, I've been putting up with his stuff for so long and he should have been proposed. And Emma's just like, yeah, well, do we have your blessing? And she's pretty much telling them, you guys aren't here for my blessing. I'm just here to hear both of you guys' side and give you guys the truth of what I think is going on in your relationship. And then Tiffany just snaps like, you know what? We don't need your blessing. So we're out of here. Plus they already paid. So for her, I'm sure she's charging hourly. She's like, huh? All right, well, y'all get out of here. Good luck with your wedding. These two, they definitely aren't ready to get married. Emmett's just rushing it because he messed up with Dominique. And he's just trying to make things seem right. But we all know Emmett definitely ain't ready for this. So if there is another season, hey, Lena, let us get another season so we can see Emmett try to fix himself. We don't think he can, but let's see if Emmett can get himself on the right track in another season and make Tiffany happy, because I don't see it happening. Now, this is where things turn into a sticky situation. We see this a lot in politics, people taking money, people just doing little crooked things to try to get advantage, our president. But Otis, if you remember last week, he was actually at the church where the pastor got arrested at, and he was just preaching. Him and Rosalind, they were trying to get people, saying, hey, we're in the community, support us. But now the pastor got arrested. They're over here telling Otis, hey, he's squilling. He's telling everything he knows. He took some money from Camille. He, saying, you probably gave him a little bit, saying, a little bit of money so he can come into the church. But you pretty much need to separate yourself from him or take care of this because he's telling on everybody. This is going to look bad for Otis. This is going to look bad for Camille. If they actually dig deep into this and try to find receipts and stuff, oh, yeah, both of them are going down because there's corruption in the Shy. And let me tell you, Otis is our number one suspect. We've been knowing that for years. Now, during all of Kiesha's trauma since she's been back, we know Miss Jada's actually been around and she's actually been talking to her and consoling with her. Like, if you need any help, come and talk to me. I've dealt with certain things. I haven't actually dealt with this situation, but I read about it. So for her, she sits down with Kiesha and Keisha's just asking her, what would you do in this situation? And Jada's pretty much saying, I had Emmett at 16, but of course, my situation was different from yours. Now, it's really up to you. I can't tell you what to do because it's your child and it's your body. So I think it would be best for me to talk to somebody, have you talk to somebody else that would be better for this. So they bring in Tiffany. Now, everyone was wondering at the beginning of the season what happened to Tiffany because last season we know she was pregnant. Well, it turns out while she's talking to Kiesha, she's telling her, well, I had a child already, and I didn't feel like I was capable of bringing another child in. So all the speculation of what happened to Tiffany's child is she actually got an abortion because she didn't feel she would be able to bring in another child and take care of Emmett at the same time. So she's just telling Kiesha, like, man, it's tough to do, but you got to do what's right for you, and you're the only person that can decide that. So Kiesha, she just hurt, and her and Tiffany, they never really seen eye to eye just because of Emmett and their past, but you could tell at this point it was two females getting together and putting their sides, saying their side differences off to the side and actually coming together and, saying feeling sorry for each other, actually caring for each other. So Tiffany gives her a hug. So it's gonna be a tough decision for Kiesha and what she's actually gonna do with this child. And whatever she does, hey, we all gotta support it. It's her body. My boy Bluetooth Darnell pulls up with a couple of suits for Emmett, a dress or two for Tiffany to try on for the wedding. While all this is going on, Miss Jada goes in. She starts talking to Tiffany. She's pretty much telling her, you look beautiful, saying, I'm really here for you. I love you with being with my son, being able to put up with him. And, I accepted you in because I know your mom wouldn't put up with my son. And I definitely thank you for that. So Miss Jada, she's kind of cautious because she knows that Emmett's he has a lot of growing up to do. And she tells Tiffany that. But Tiffany replies with, yeah, we all have some growing up to do. Miss Jada's like, yeah, you're right. But in her head, you can tell she's thinking, man, but Emmett has a lot. And I know a few things, especially something recent, but mom's gonna hold it down. Your mom always gotta hold you down. It's always mom takes care of her son. I'm a mama's boy, so for me, I know exactly what's going on right here. But anyway, Emmett's in the front with Darnell. He's asking Darnell, how did you get the money for 2 suits for me and a couple of dresses for Tiffany? He's like, man, my boy gave it to me. And while Darnell is talking about all this, Emmett's looking at his suit and he's like, wait a minute, these are stolen. They got the little the little chip on it that go off when you leave. So Emmett busts in the room. He's talking to Tiffany, talking about, hey man, we can't wear this because it's stolen. And Tiffany, being the little, the little hood chick that I like, she talking about, who cares? We wearing it once and we ain't never gonna wear it again. And Darnell was like, see, I knew I liked her. You know what I'm saying? The court date was set for the child custody hearing, and today it happened. Trig, Jake, and Imani, they all show up. They're trying to get custody of Jake to get him out of Douda's house, and Jake, he actually tells the judge, like, I don't want to live over there. I haven't really known my brother that much, but I feel like this is the home for me, and I want to go live with him. Now, the good thing for Jake and Trig is that Otis didn't show up. Without him showing up, the judge had no other choice but to give Trig custody. So everyone's like, oh, well, he didn't show up. He must have didn't care anyway. So the judge says, hey, you can live with Jake. And now they get their little family together. Jake, Trig, and Imani. Hey, This is what Jake wanted. This is what Trig wanted. They wanted to get him out the house, and now they actually got him. But there's something funny about this. Without Douda showing up, now is it because of his campaign, or is it because he just didn't want to show up and he really didn't want to take care of the kid no more? That's what everybody was thinking. It looks like this is the end of the crew. Since Jake is moving with Trig, he's like, man, I can't work at the pizza spot no more. I can't work for Perry. Like, forget that. I'm out. So everybody's like, ah, dang. So it seems like the crew is over. Jake's like, I already know what Kev's about to do. He about to go hang with Jemma, but that's all right. Tell Jemma I said what's up. So it looks like Jake's growing up and maturing because he's more open to things. And then guess who comes in? Maisha. So she leaves with Papa, and Papa's like, how did you know we were here? And she like, the crew texts me. So he goes off with Maisha, and it turns out she gives him the M chain. She's like, I want to go public with you. You know what I'm saying? Since this is what Papa wanted. And he's always been holding her down, and he always calls her queen and everything. So she supports Papa. Papa makes sure Maisha's good. And Papa already's like, man, I got to take care of my family now that my dad's arrested, and I got to take care of Maisha. So Papa's look like he's going on a relationship goals, man. You'll say he going this way, y'all boys going that way. Emmett and Tiffany both have their bachelor and bachelorette parties at the same time. Emmett goes with Darnell, and Tiffany stays home with Miss Jada. So Miss Jada brings out a game for Tiffany, and Tiffany's looking amazing, lingerie. I'm like, why they wait till the last episode for this? But they end up playing the game. The groom says. So Miss Jada asked Tiffany some questions. Emmett already answered. Now this is Emmett. He doesn't remember anything, so he answered the first two questions wrong, and he asked. Then the last question she asked Tiffany was, what does Emmett like about you? And she stands up and says her booty. Miss Jada's like, yeah, he did say your booty and your loyalty. So both of them together make you. So she's like, oh. And then Tiffany ends up getting a stripper. A police officer stripper. But she doesn't like male strippers, so they had a female stripper come in and, hey, they was in there making it rain. You know what I'm saying? Then we got Darnell and Emmett. They actually go to a spa, but it turns out Darnell being cheap, he gets a couple's coupon where both of these two got to get the massage at the same time. Both of them laying on the bed. And Emmett's like, I'm not doing that. But all of this leading up to it, Darnell's telling Emmett, I hope you got a prenup. And Emmett's like, for what? I don't have any money. And Darnell's like, you don't have any money now, but that doesn't mean you're always going to be broke. You should get one. And Emmett's like, nah, whatever I got, Tiffany's going to get. So Emmett's showing he has the loyalty for Tiffany. And Darnell's just like, man, I'm looking out for you. But Emmett, he ends up leaving and he's like, I'm not about to try to get a happy ending with these girls. I'm married. And Darnell tells the ladies, the massages, uh, it turns out Camille Holloway, she ended up losing the election. Earlier in the episode, Rosalind came by. Was like, hey, you didn't use that information that Jake brought you. And Camille's like, no, I didn't use that information because what you're trying to do is get me to be a pawn, and I won't be a pawn. You're trying to use me because you're mad at Otis. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to run my election, the campaign, the right way, the fair way. And if I win, I win. But I won't be a pawn for something that you want done. You only want me to be Otis so you can rub it in his face. Nah, that's not going to work. I didn't use the information. Now, I'm going to tell my team we lost, but we did our best. Kiesha's been going through a lot of things, so she doesn't really know what she wants to do. Does she want to keep the child? Does she want to get rid of the child? So she's just, all her emotions are everywhere. And her and Nina, they actually go up to the clinic. But it turns out Kiesha decides that she doesn't want to get rid of the baby. She feels like she's being attached to it and she wants to keep it. So she doesn't get it. They actually go home and they're in the room crying. And Nina's like, whatever you want to do, we're going to support you. We're going to be here for you. Kev comes home and he hears them in the room talking. And when he goes in, he hears that she's deciding to keep the baby. And for Kev, he's like, he doesn't want his sister to, lose his sister to having a child that she, saying didn't decide that she actually wanted with this person and having a rapist baby. So Kev, he's hurt because he doesn't feel like she should have his baby. But at the end of the day, it's Keisha's connection with the baby. It's still her baby. And Kev just can't handle it. So you could tell like Kiesha and Kev, they close. We just seen them get back together, but this kind of, separated Kev back just a little bit because this isn't what anybody would want. Like I said earlier, it looks like this is Jake, he's maturing in things. Him and Imani, they actually have a one-on-one, and it's pretty much turns into a heart-to-heart. And she's like, we're a family. We're going to do everything we can to, to make sure that you're, oh man. Like I was saying earlier, this is like Jake maturing. So he moves in with Trig, and he's, just embracing this and like, okay, we got a family now. And him and Imani end up having a heart to heart. Imani ends up asking him how does he feel about her being a trans, and he's pretty much saying, I don't care, as long as you're good with my family and we all taking care of everything, then we good. And then he gives his definition of it, pretty much saying you were born one way but you feel another. And Imani's like, okay, thanks. So after all that, Jake's like, man, do you guys think y'all can afford to keep me in the school? So it looks like Jake still wants to go to the white school, you know what I'm saying? Because Kev will still be there and it's out the hood. So that's definitely a good thing for Jake. And then Imani gets on his ass like, all right, you gonna live here, but I ain't a babysitter. Clean up your plate and stuff and go wash those dishes, man. I'm not gonna be cleaning up after you. Imani ain't playing that. Ooh, look at little Kev and Jemma. So Kev pulls up on Jemma and hey, things are looking good for him in the finale. You know what I'm saying? They in there talking, and Jim was pretty much just telling him, I know you're going through a lot of things, and I'm here for you. But I also have a therapist, and I've been going through some things also. And Kev's like, well, you didn't tell me that. And she makes it, I mean, common sense. Like, you don't just come out and tell somebody, hey, y'all on YouTube, I'm Mo, and I got a therapist. Like, no one ever just comes out and tell you that. But she's like, yeah, she was going through some things also, and the therapist was pretty much telling her, how to walk through different situations. And Kev was like, dang, that's interesting. And it comes out, Gemma tells him that she told her therapist that she wanted Kev to be her first. And Kev was like, really? So they ended up going upstairs and doing it. And Kev was like, is this supposed to be that fast? And Gemma, she didn't did her research. Now we know she's smart, but she didn't did her research on this. She was like, yeah, Google says that's all right. Now porn, they lied to you and they try to give you that fantasy of it going that long. But Kev, you did an all right job. So Kev was like, yeah. Okay, man, we didn't watch this kid grow up in front of us, man. It turns out the reason Douda didn't show up to the child custody hearing is because he had a plan. So not only did he become the mayor, now he has to remove himself from the streets. And he's pretty much telling Trig, I own you and Jake. Now that Jake lives with you, I'm gonna give my organization to you so you can run it while I'm in the mayor's office. Oh, and you're gonna run it, and you ain't gotta worry about security or nothing, because I got the chief of police as my top security. So Douda was pretty much putting this in plan that I'm gonna get mayor and I'm still gonna run the streets, but I'm gonna have Trig and Jake run it. So they gotta give us another season. We gotta see how this pans out because I could see Trig actually running these streets and Jake coming up to be one of the dope boys. Now that's gonna tear up the crew, but this man Douda, he's been scheming and scheming and scheming, and that's why he's so damn crooked. But he's the mayor now, so it's only gonna get worse from here. Now that's how you end a season. We get to see Emmett and Tiffany get married. Everybody's there. Jake, Jemma showed up. Bluetooth Darnell's there. Miss Jada's there. We get to see Trig, Jake, and Imani be a family. They're in their house, splashing water on each other, just chilling around. You know what I'm saying? After the wedding, we see Emmett take Tiffany home for some of that marriage sex. You know what I'm saying? That honeymoon sex. Then we get to see Miss Kiesha, the one that's been through the most this whole season. She ends up tying up her shoes and getting back to what she knows. Now she says she's keeping the baby, but she's still out there running this stuff. I'm gonna get back to what I know. I'm still trying to pursue myself in college. That's what I'm assuming from seeing her getting out there and running. She lost a scholarship, but I'm gonna try to get it back. Even if I do just have this baby, I'm not gonna let it deter me from living the life that I wanted. So everybody's this is what everybody wants, a happy ending. Now me, I know it's a happy ending. I want another season out of this. We can make something out of this. Let's make something shake. But if not, we get to end this season 3 on a happy note. Everybody's doing better, and we get to see Kiesha actually out about on her own and better in the environment, man. And this is lovely. This is lovely. Y'all did y'all thing on this. And that's the season finale of The Chi, episode 10, season 3, man. But first off, let's give a shout out to Showtime, Lena Waithe, and The Chi for giving us this series, man. We need one more season at least. But if not, if this is it, thank y'all for this, man. It was an amazing series. And who knows, man, y'all might see your boy Mo in the Lena Waithe production, Hillman Productions. Like, we can only hope, right? But anyway, comment below. What do you think, man? Do you think there will be another season? Because I definitely want one. We got to see how this all ends. But hey, thanks for watching. That's my recap. Hey, And if you're new to the channel, you like my content, please subscribe, hit your notification bell, like, comment, share. Hey, we growing, man. We on the grind to 3,000 subscribers. I'm Moedotj. Thanks for watching.
Jemmy on the beat, boy.